Hey guys, today I'm going to continue Nate the Great and the Missing Snake. I'm sorry to break it to you, but I didn't read all of it, so I wish that you can listen to it. Then what? If he'd returned to the yard, someone would have seen him. If he'd slithered out to the street, we would have heard screaming and police sirens by now. Nate the Great, decided that the street was not the best place to look for clues. I went back to the yard. I walked over to the corner of the yard where UGG Chomp had last been seen. There were several large holes. UGG Chomp had been busy digging. Nate the Great knew one thing. I was not going to look in any of the holes. Did you find him? Lizzie said. No, I said. Lizzie noticed the holes too. He could have been in any of those, he said. UGG Chomp, where are you? She called. Nate the Great did not know much about snakes, but I knew that calling a snake's name definitely would not work. I walked around the yard. Behind the yard was a large field with tall grass. It was the perfect place for a snake to hide. We need to search the field, I said. Snakes love tall grass. Chapter 4. Snake Eyes. Sludge and I went out to the field. The other party guests followed. It was still raining. The field was big. The grass was tall. The field was filled with buggy things with wings. Flies, fleas, bees, mosquitoes, gnats, wasps, hornets, and a big flying thing that looked like a small bird. Nate the Great was hoping that the big flying thing that looked like a bird was a bird. I also hoped we would finally find UGG Chomp quickly. We searched and searched. We found many things. Old toys, tires, books, candy wrappers, and orange peels. We did not find UGG Chomp. Ow! Rosamond yelled. I think a mosquito bit me. I think I was bit by a flea, Pip said. I think I was bit by something that looked like a smart bird, Oliver said. The only thing we've done out here is feed the insects, I said. Then Claude shouted from across the field. I did it! I solved the case! I ran to where I heard Claude's voice. The other party guests followed me. The insects followed the party guests. Claude pointed to a swampy stream. There was branches in the water. There was also mud and leaves. And hiding inside the leaves, 2 shining eyes. Chapter 5. How not to scare a snake. Claude, you did it! Lizzie shouted. You are a detective. You are Claude the Great. Not really, Claude said. I was looking for a dollar I'd lost. I thought I fell into the water. When I looked down, I saw 2 eyes looking up at me. Claude was always losing things. By this time, he found something. He found Lizzie's snake. The snake is buried under the leaves in the mud, I said. We need to get it out. Maybe we could get him and come out if we had some kind of bait? And he said, pancakes. I said, snakes don't eat pancakes. Lizzie said, no, I said, but I do. That helped me think. It's hard to be a detective when you're hungry. I have an idea, and he said, I'll take Fang to the stream. He'll bark at UGG Chomp and scare him out of the water. I turned to Lizzie. When was the last time UGG Chomp ate? I asked. Yesterday, she said. UGG Chomp will be hungry, I said. Fang might become his lunch. Or snack, Lizzie said. Chomp really loves to eat. I walked towards the stream. I looked at the water. I saw fur. I saw fur around the two black eyes. Then I saw two ears. They were also covered in fur. I had not found Lizzie's snake. I need to say that you are not looking at the snake. A snake would have scales around its eyes. This animal has fur and ears. Snakes don't have fur or ears, Lizzie said. But beavers do, I said. We were looking at a beaver. So this is a dead end, Rosamond said. No, it is not, Claude said. I just found my dollar in the mud. We need to get back inside, I said. But how are we going to find my snake? Lizzie said. He could be anywhere by now. Not anywhere, I said. He would go where a snake would go. And I need to find out where that is. And we need to find out where that is. We need to talk to someone who knows about snakes. Who would that be? Lizzie asked. A pet store, that's who. Crazy Craig's Popular Pets. They specialize in strange pets, and they sell snakes. I'll take Sledge with me. Call me crazy. Sledge and I walked in the rain to Crazy Craig's Popular Pets. I opened the front door. I looked around. I saw all sorts of particular pets. Skunks, hedgehogs, anteaters, and of course, snakes. There were also many insects, including one that looked like a small bird. Sledge whimpered and ran towards the door. I followed him. Come on, Sledge, I said. We have a case to solve. An odd-looking man old-looking man walked over. He was wearing a crazy t-shirt with a picture of a snake with giant fangs. He also looked wild. Crazy-looking hair. Lots of wild, crazy-looking hair. And a long beard. We were in the right place. You must be Crazy Craig, I said. Yes. But you can call me crazy. I'd like to talk about snakes, I said. And I'd like to talk to you about snakes, Crazy Craig said. But I'd really like to talk to you about tarantulas. We were having a huge sale on spiders. Sledge hid behind my legs. Maybe next time, I said. Right now I'm trying to find a missing ball python. He vanished during a birthday party. Snakes disappear a lot. Crazy Crack said. Snakes have to keep their bodies warm. They'll look for rugs, blankets, or furnaces. Any place that's warm. Thank you, I said. You've given us a good clue. Glad to help, Crazy Crack said. Now, how about those tarantulas? They make wonderful gifts. He pointed to a large hairy spider. His name is Alfred. He's on sale. If you buy him today, I'll throw in his new friend, Harrieta. I thought about Lizzie and her strange snakes. A tarantula might be a good present for her, but I Need the Great was on a case. Chapter 7. Snake in the Class. Sludge and I rushed back to Rosamond's house. It was pouring rain. Everyone was inside. Snakes love warm places, I announced. We must find some place warm. I opened the back and front door, and looked at the yard. I looked down at the porch. The sugar was still there. Then I remembered Oliver had said that he dropped a pile of sugar on the porch. But it was just a giant mess spread out all over the place. Did anyone try to clean up the pile of sugar? I asked. No, Lucy said. I need to say to all of you that UGG Chomp had slithered his way into the house. But we would have seen him, Claude said. Not if he slithered down to the basement, I said. The basement has warm places where a snake might go, Rosamond said. There's a furnace, a water heater, blankets, and mattresses. We all went down to the basement. Maybe you can sniff UGG Chomp out, I said to Sludge. Sludge whimpered. We looked near the furnace and the water heater. Oliver picked up a corner of the rug. Not under here, he said. You didn't need to lift the rug, Lucy said. If you were under it, we would see a big bulge. Nick the Great knew that UGG Chomp could not be in the basement. He was too big to hide down here, and yet he was hiding. We were playing hide and seek with a giant snake. The giant snake was winning. UGG Chomp must be really smart, I said. He's brilliant, Lizzie said. And he's never even gone to school. I thought about UGG Chomp in a classroom filled with children, let me guess, I said. No school would take him. We tried them all, Lizzie said. Well, he's smart enough to stay hidden, I said. And we're running out of places to look. When Sludge went to the dryer, it was busy drying Fang's t-shirt. UGG Chomp is not in the dryer, Rosamond said. Why not? Oliver asked. Snakes like heat. Dryer is hot. Because a snake can't open a dryer door, let himself in and close the door, and turn on the heat, Rosamond said. I didn't think about that. Oliver said. Neither did Sludge, Lizzie said. I guess he's not much of a great detective, Sludge growled. Sludge is a great detective, I said, but Rosamond was right. UGG Chomp could not have gotten inside the dryer of his own. What was Sludge telling me? I looked in the dryer. Then I walked around and looked behind it. No snake. Then I realized that Sludge had solved the case. I went back to the basement stairs. I walked through the kitchen and opened the door to the backyard. Sugar covered much of the porch, but there was no Sugar by the door. Ugg Chump had never reached the door. I looked inside the side of the porch. I saw a large bush next to the house. Behind the bush, I heard a noise coming from inside the house. It was the sound of the dryer vent blowing out hot air from the dryer in the basement. Nate the Great, knew where Ugg Chump had gone. I walked over and looked behind the bush. There was Ugg Chump. I looked at him. He hissed at me. The case was solved. It was my job to find him. It was not my job to move him. A great detective knows his limits. I went back inside the house. The case is solved, I said. Come here, I'll show you where Ultra Giant Gullet Chomp is. Everyone followed me outside. You found him, Lizzie exclaimed. My beautiful baby. Baby? I said. Oh, yes, Lizzie said. Someday he'll be twice as big as he is now. I can hardly wait, I said. Thank you so much, Nate the Great, Lizzie said. Don't thank me, thank Sludge. He solved the case. Well, thank you, Sludge, Lizzie said. Can you two stay for dinner? I looked at Ugg Chump. He looked very hungry, and he was smiling. I'd love to, I said, but I have to get back to Crazy Crags before they close. They're having a great sale on spiders. Thank you for watching. Bye.